All right, this is Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne and the great Randy Rhoads on guitar. So at the beginning of the song, Ozzy says some stuff and you got a little bass line. Okay, so it basically just does that twice. So you got your F sharp, then you got A to E, F sharp, and then you got D to E. And then you can do that twice. And then at the end of the second time, when it's going D to E, then Randy comes in with a pick scratch, and maybe he rakes the strings down here past the end of the nut there. And then we got the big Crazy Train riff, so we got... Okay, so we got 2, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 4, 2. And then you got a couple ways you could do this other part. You could go. So the first part, 2, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 4, 2. And then we're going to go on this B note here, the second fret of the A string. To the 4 on the big one. So 2, 0, 4, 0, 2, 0, 4, 0. Now you could also go. So that'd be 2, 5, 4, 5, 2, 5, 4, 0. So I'm not really sure which one he did, but you could do either one. So we got. After we finish that part, we got a D power chord to an E power chord. Now we're starting onto the A part here. We got an A chord. We got so a lot of palm muting and a lot of kind of strumming on that A string with these other chords in mind. So we got dum da da chord. And this is gonna be kind of the easy way. The way he did it, he got as many of those strokes on that A bass note kind of pedaling there, as many as he could. He might have even overdubbed it because it sounds like he's like filling all those spaces real tight with like fast picking through there. But you could kind of make it simpler and go. So you could kind of try to do 3 A bass notes. And this next chord is going to be this 6, 4, and 5 on the D, G, and B strings. So we got A. And that's part of an E chord. So. This is part of a D chord. That's like a D with an F sharp bass there. This is like an E with a G sharp bass. So we got A, we got a part of an E chord, part of a D chord, we're going back to A. So we got. There you go. So A, G, A. Now the second time we're going to go. So that's pull off, 4, 2, 0, double pull off. Same thing, same thing. So all 3 of those strings, G string, D string, A string. And you can kind of get heavier on the picking there if you can make sure you mute everything except the A. So when I'm doing these chords, everything is muted. The thumb is touching the big string. So I can hit that A all I want with these chords and not be hitting any noisy things I don't want. So that's kind of the wilder way. Trying to do a solid da-da-dum between would be kind of like a tighter way. Now, if you do it that way, you can get into more of those strums. So jigga jigga instead of just jigga jig. Okay, so it does like 8 of those when the verse starts, and the last one is going to end with. So it's going to go. So then we got this new part with this F sharp power chord. We're gonna go into that E bass to the D power chord. Then we're gonna hit the 7th fret harmonics on the D string and the G string. So we got. I like to do this one down here because it kind of sounds like he kind of pinch harmonics, so not really a harmonic, but just kind of pinches these. So let's go from that D string, 4-2 on the A. So we got, and then we got the F sharp. So we got open, open, 4-2. Then we got A chord. So that was A, 4-2 to the E, and then open, 2-4. And then we got a fill here. Okay, so that fill goes. So we're gonna bend the 4th fret of the G string up, hit the 2-2 on the way up, 5-2 pull off, 3-2 pull off, and then 4-2. So that part was part of that flat 5th minor pentatonic. And then you go 2-4, 2-4. So you got a lot of 3-2s in there. So we got. Okay, so once again, the context of that. And then we're gonna have, so 2-0-2, kind of a couple of scratches there. So 2-4 to the A chord, 4-2-0, 2-4, 2-0-2, D to E, and then we have this new thing. So we got your F sharp chord and it slides down. So that's basically based off that bass line from the beginning of the song. So now we're into Randy Rhoads' solo. So we got a tapping thing. So we got 7 and 10 with the 14th fret up here. So it's kind of like a. See how you get that going fast and it sounds real cool? So it's kind of like a dee-da, 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 dee-da. So this one you're going to go 9 and 12 with the left hand. And he does like a whammy bar depressed there. So you can kind of cop that by going. Kind of jumping it down to the 7-10 and back up. And then he ends with a. So that's a 9th fret G string bending up to the 10 below it. And then bending up again. So we got. So I'll do this tapping thing real slow. So. So you just got to kind of experiment with that, you know? And then we're gonna go up high here. We're gonna go 17th fret, 17, 16, 14. Bend the 17 to the second string. So we go 14, 16, 17, bend that up. So that's a quick one. So bending that 16 on the G string up, 17 underneath it. So I guess you have a double one in that. Dee-da, dee-da. We got 14 to 16 on the G, and 14 to 17 on the B, and then we're getting into this. So we're doing the 14 and 17s. Go up one, and then do the 17 with the 21, so you got an extra. And you go to the 16, 19. And then we got like one of these on the 14, 17. So bend the 17 up. And then 15, 14, 16. So that's da-dee-da-do 4 times. So that's 13 and 14. 16. And then we got this run. That's 11, 12, 14 twice. Actually 3 times. And then after you do that third one, you go to the 13th fret, 13, 14, 16 twice. So you got a 14, 17, second string to the 14 hair, and then slide on up, get into that 19th fret, bend up and down. So the whole solo. We're back. Okay, so that does its 8 times again, and it ends with. Now this one, he goes the 4th fret on the D harmonic, and then 5, 5, 5, 5 on the bottom 3 strings. So. Now this one. So you're going to bend up on the 16th fret of the G string. And it's like you're in the F sharp minor pentatonic. You're going to bend that one up, hit the 14, and then pull off the 17, 14. And then you're just going to do that on each new fret. As long as you have enough time, and then you got to get back to the. And then we're back to that kind of thing. And it fades out while it's doing that. Okay, so that was Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne, the great Randy Rhoads. Look for more Randy Rhoads stuff coming up soon. Thanks for watching my guitar lessons, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, this is going to be bits of Mr. Crowley by Ozzy Osbourne with Randy Rhoads on guitar. It's going to have the main rhythm parts and then some of the lead things, some of the exercises, some of the fast riffs that you could do exercises with to build up the strength and speed to eventually play some of those Randy Rhoads solos. So here we go. We're starting out. We got a D power chord that's open on the D, and then 2 and 3. Just those 3 notes. We don't want to hear that bottom one. We want just a power chord. So D power chord, then A string bass note to F bass note, first fret of the E string. So back to the D chord, then we have a B flat power chord, 1 3 3, starting on the A string here. So that was so kind of palm muting down here, where you get your palm a little bit near the edge there and kind of control how much of the string you really hear, how dampened it is. So 1 1 1 3 1 0. That 3rd fret. Back to B flat. So that part is the same, and then we're going to go. So we do a 1 to 2 slide, and then we're coming into the C power chord, 3 and 5 there. So this part was 5 to 7 on the A string, and then the 5 5 5 on the D, G, and B strings, up to the 7 5 and 6 on the same strings. And then D power chord. So let's check what we got so far. So we got the D. Those are kind of upbeats too. Then we have this fill. So that was 3 4 3 on the B string, 5 on the G, and back to the 3. So, and then 3 to 2 a slide, and then a pull off 3 to 2. So, and then we're going to jump to the D string. 5 3 and then 5 3 2 0. Okay, one more time, real slow. If you pull that, it kind of helps you. So that C kind of just stays on the C come. And then B flat to the A bass note, and he kind of does a whammy bar depressed. Okay, now let's look at the beginning of the solo. So that happens twice through like verse and chorus. So the beginning of the solo, there's a great riff that you could practice to help you get speed. Okay, so he does that like 4 times, then he moves on to other stuff. But let's take a look at what this is. This is the 12th fret of the G string bending up, and then 10 10 on the 2nd and 1st strings. And then a pull off, 13 to 10 on the 2nd string. So he does that 4 times, like I say. But it's good to practice that one and take it nice and slow. Try to make sure you get your bend to a good note. Some of these you might even try with these different fingers. Sometimes you'd be up higher for those though, because they're shorter together. This one probably you want these fingers. And then he gets into a. So these are like exercises I like to teach people all the time. 3s and 4s exercises and stuff. So this is like triplets. So we got dee da doo da dee dum. So those are 3 sets of 3s. So he actually does all the way down there. And then he starts coming up from this string, D string. And then he goes into some higher position thing right there. But look at these exercises. You got. That's a good one to practice. You can practice on all different frets and get used to. That was kind of a favorite riff of Jimmy Page. We just saw that movie. And you could see him doing this lick a lot, Jimmy Page. That was like one of his favorite licks to just jam out on really fast. Okay, so we have some other things going on. We have this slow solo where it goes. That whole thing. So let's start out with that. Let's look at the chords on that. So we're going to have D power chord, down to B flat, C, back to D. We're going to go D, C, B flat. Then we're going to go G power chord. And then we're going to go A power chord. So let's do those again. We got D, B flat, C, back to D, then a walk down, B flat, then G to A. Okay, and then there's two different harmony parts. We're going to think about the first chord happening, and then we have a riff. Okay, so what that was we let the chord hit, and then we come in with 7 and 7 on the D and G strings, part of this like D minor chord shape. We go 5, 6 on the B string. So we got 7, 7, and then 5, 6 to the 5, and then 7, 5, 3 on the G string. So that's 5 and 3 on the small E string. So. And then the C chord hits, and we come in with this kind of a C shape. So I went 5, 5 on the D and G, 3 and 5 on the 3, 5, 3 on the B string. So that was 5 on the G, 5 on the D, to 7 on the D, 8 and 6 on the B string. So together this is. And then we come down to the B flat shape. So that was 3, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 3, 5, 6, 5 on the B string. And then we're going to go 6 and 7 on the G, 5, 6, 5 on the B, back to the 7, 6. So that last riff was. And then we repeat the thing. Okay, now the harmony part to that goes, it waits for the D chord. So it has the exact same rhythm and it's in harmony. So we got 5, 6, and 8 on the B string to the little 5, 8, 6, 5, 7 on the G. So it's. Then we're going to go 6, 5 on the B. Then we're going to go 8, 10, 11 on the B string to the little 8. Coming down to the 10 on the G, so 11, 10 on the B. So let's look at those. Now we have 7, 9, 10 on the G to the 8 on the B. Going back down those same notes. 8 on the D, 10, 8 on the B. So that was. And then we have 5, 6, 8, 10, little slide to 10, and then 8, 6, 5. So that whole thing was. Now there's one note different on the second time of that one. So instead of going to the third string 10, it stays on the second string 10. 11, 10, and then the lower one. Okay, and then his solo starts. Here's some more things you could look at for kind of strengthening speed practice kind of stuff. So what he has here is a 17 to 13 pull off going to the 15 of the second string. He's going to do that 8 times. Then he's going to take the pinky up one to the 18. Then we're going down to 15, 12, and 13. And then we're going to 17, 13, 13. Okay, so that's 4 different more things you can practice on. So we got... And then consider this like part 1 of this song. We have other things. Stuff like that. So this was Mr. Crowley by Ozzy Osbourne, Randy Rhoads on guitar. May he rest in peace. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Let me know if you have any requests, and we'll get to number 2 of Mr. Crowley one of these days soon. Thanks a lot. Take it easy. All right, here's a lesson on D by Randy Rhoads from the Ozzy album. Okay, so we got 5 and 7 to start with. Okay, so that's 5 and 7, 5 on the D string, 7 on the little E string. And then we got 7th fret G string, and that was the 2nd string, 8 to 10, hammer on to the 7 here. And then we had the D string and the 2 bottom strings, 0, 5 on that one. Harmonics on the 4 bottom strings on the 7th fret, so once again. Then we come up here to the 7th fret, this is like a top of a B minor chord. So a little finger picking in there. And then we're going to put in the 8 and the 10 down here on the bottom 2 strings. Basically same finger pattern, finger picking pattern, except for I ended on the 2nd string that time instead of the 3rd. And then we're going to slide this one up. So once again, that's that whole shape there, starting on the 9th fret, going to the 11th. And then the bass note with that higher note. Now here we're going to have the 7 down here and the 10 over here. So once again we got 7, we'll hammer on there, 7 to 8, to the 9 and the 10. 7 and 8, that's 6th on the G string and 8th fret on the B string. So, and then 5 and 7, 4 and 5, 2 and 3, and that was the little string open with the G string bass, or the G bass up here. And then we got, that was D string bass with this 5 to 3 pull off on the B string, 6th fret, back to 3. So we're going to get into this 4-2-3 chord here. So that's 1 and the 2 there, 1 on the D string. So we got that's kind of a Bach trick right there. 3 on the big strings, open on the bottom, to 2s, to flipped, open on the big string, 3 on the little string. The Bach thing would be da da da. So anyway, we got that's like 2 open open. 3 to 2 pull off, then you got a C sharp and this bass up here on the A string. Harmonics 12th fret. So that was to the D. So that's 3 and 2, 5 and 3. Hammer on pull off. 2 and 3 down here. D string. That was like an A7. D string basser. Okay, so once again, let's go from down here. Harmonics. All right, D by Randy Rhoads. Like and subscribe for more like this. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you.